Hey everybody, welcome to another Summer Crafts. Today we're going to make some marbled paper. Very pretty, very messy. I think every year we have to have at least one craft that you should probably do outside, and this is that craft, okay? In your kit, you're going to get 1 can of shaving cream. You're going to get little bottles of color, and you'll notice on the tops, each has a little dot of the color, so you'll know what is in each one. Red, green, blue, orange, yellow, and purple. So you have 6 colors. You're also going to get some toothpicks, some larger sticks if you want to do bigger marbling with your paper, and 1 popsicle stick that we're going to use as a scraper. As you can see, I've already made 1 piece. I know, shocking. I just showed you. It's super cute. This is a great craft to do with kids. It's really good for outside when it's not too hot. And the important thing is also remember to have a landing pad for your paper so you have a place for it to sit and dry, because while it's not absorbing a whole lot of moisture, it is absorbing some. This is a great thing to have sit out in the sunlight and just finish drying. Okay. So I'm gonna pull, I didn't have I thought about getting a aluminum pan, just a disposable aluminum pan, and then I forgot. So instead, I took a box and I cut the flaps off and I put a trash bag inside. So this makes it waterproof. And you can see I already did 1 layer, but I want to show you, and I could, suppose, peel this off, scrape the color off, and redo it, but I'm going to show you from the beginning so you can kind of get a sense of what we're doing here. You're going to take your shaving cream, give it a good shake. You want to use foam. Do not get gel. That's not going to work for this. You got to have foam. We got this at the dollar store. It's cheap, it's easy, and it smells pretty good. Okay? So you want to put a nice thick layer of foam. See how I have to shake it some more. Okay. Now my first layer was not very even. You're seeing this one is becoming a lot less even as I go. Oh, you will also have paper. You want to be sure you have a bigger section of foam than your piece of paper. And if you want to cut these into smaller pieces, you can. That is all up to you. And if you're saying, what can I do with marble paper? Oh, lots of things. You can cut it up and make bookmarks. You could put oil on it. I know last year we made a sun catcher with a jar lid. That's good. By putting a layer of oil on the piece of paper that kind of made it semi-translucent. So you have that option. You could do that and make a little sun catcher with it. Write little I love you notes to family and friends and send them. And these are just really pretty. It's a quick, easy thing. I'm going to use my stick. Also have lots of paper towels around. You are going to need paper towels. I'm going to even it out just a hair. Okay. Yes, this is messy, but it's also soap, so it's not like it's dirty messy. It's just messy. Okay. That's pretty good. Doesn't have to be level. We definitely don't want it to be perfectly level, and it doesn't matter because we're going to be swirling stuff around in here as we work anyway. So if it's not perfectly level, who cares? All right. I'm on like my 8th paper towel now. That's, like I said, this isn't outside. This is better to do outside, or put down a whole bunch of trash bags to cover your area. Something that's going to be easy to clean up. One of the things I like about this box with the trash bag in it is when I'm finished, all I have to do is flip the trash bag around, throw the whole thing in the garbage. It's going to be so much easier. Okay, so we are using liquid watercolors. Okay, these are actually very thick. You could probably squeeze some out, mix them with a little bit of water if you wanted to. You have the full watercolor in your little bottles. I like purple, so I'm going to put a couple drops of purple down. I'm actually probably going to put some of all the colors because I am a colorful person, as you well know. There we go. Always have a paper towel around. The watercolor will wash off your skin, okay? I don't know if it will come off. There's some on my desk. It may or may not come off my desk. I'm not 100% sure. And if it doesn't, well, it's a little extra color. I'm not going to worry about that either. On the list of things I have to worry about, a little watercolor here and there doesn't even really register. Okay. So since I'm using the big giant bottle to drip mine, yours will drip a lot easier because they are little drippy eye drop bottles. Okay. Ooh, that one, the lid almost came off. That could have been exciting. And I'm just putting these randomly. You could come up with some sort of color scheme if you really wanted, and once you see how this works, it'll be easier to understand. You know, and if you don't like all the colors, that's okay. You don't have to like and or use all of the colors. See, sometimes they mix themselves. This one looks like egg yolk to me. Like, there. If you've ever been making egg drop soup and you puncture the yolk. Now this is orange. It looks red until you see it next to the red. So the orange has a lot of... These are just very strong pigments, okay? And that's why we have the liquid color. And I didn't get these. This is not pricey. This whole craft, probably the most amount of anything it will take will be your time. And if you're careful and you figure out your cleanup ahead of time, it'll be that much easier. Okay, so I have all these drips. This time I used a toothpick for that. I'm gonna try it with the bigger stick this time, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do swirls. And I'm rotating my stick so it's always going the same direction through, which is stopping some of my colors from mixing. If you say, hey, what do we use this for? Again, you can use it for anything. Marble papers were made initially for books. See, this time I'm just going back and forth, so I'm not even rotating my stick. So you'll see end papers are usually very colorful. Depends on the kind of paper. When I was in Williamsburg, they were making paste papers. So instead of, ooh, I like that. Instead of using glue, like a thin glue, they would use paste mixed with dyes. It dries pretty quickly, so you see we get these nice feathering effects. I'm actually pretty pleased with this, so I'm probably going to leave this. Okay. So these sticks are reusable. You could always either rinse it off, just wipe off the excess, and you're good to go. I'm pretty pleased with this, so I'm going to take one of my pieces of paper. I'm going to lay it down and press gently, okay, all the way out to the edges. And then I'm going to peel it off. Sometimes you will get shaving cream that will come off with it. These are actually coming off pretty clean, okay? So I'm probably not going to do, what you can do is take your big stick and scrape off the shaving cream. That's what I've done in the past when I did this. But then I was using food coloring and not watercolors, and I think that makes a big difference. And you can see there's still quite a lot of pigment here. I can make more of the same basic pattern. Okay, so I can take another sheet of paper and I could do these. I'm going to do a little off center from where I did it last time. And it's neat because you can kind of see it soaking up through the paper. You could use watercolor paper to do this. You might, it has more texture. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. And see, this would be really neat then to take and use to make something else. Cut it into strips and make a little basket like we did earlier this summer. There are lots of options, lots of things you could use marble paper for. But the important thing is to give them time to dry. Preferably somewhere out of the way where they're not going to get bothered, stepped on, eaten by pets. Not that Hattie would ever eat paper. That's my dog, and she says that to me as she's got half a napkin hanging out of her mouth. So you can see we're still getting really good color saturation on this. Now this is fun. You can see where I laid down the first set of paper. You can see the corners where some of the ink was already sucked up. I don't know. I think that's neat. And then if you're tired of this, you can scrape it all off to the side and do your drips again. Okay, or you can just mix them up like this, see what you get. Okay, now we got to make one like this because I got to see what it turns out like. This is what happens when you start playing with art. You start getting ideas and trying to see how things work. Now this is not going to be as the others had a lot of definition. Okay, oh, this is actually pretty nice. So we got a nice little swirly pattern. And again, lots of good color saturation. But you can always just scrape your stuff into the garbage, give it another go. Do a whole other layer of shaving cream, new dots, and I'm going to take this, so I want it to be more. There we go. See, now I have fewer blank holes. And that is how you make a very simple marble paper. If you go to the library's Pinterest page, you will see lots of how-tos on different methods, different substances you can use. Initially, they would use gall, which is found in the gallbladder of an oxen, and they would use that, mix it with water to create a suspension that would then hold colors on top. They'd lay the paper down on top and peel it up just exactly the same way. The shaving cream gives us a different medium, but I think it works really well for just keeping that color right on top, making it accessible, and keeping our colors vibrant, okay? If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. And mostly, this is just kind of a fun craft. Enjoy yourself, make a mess, be messy, have a good time, and let me know how it turned out. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week.